Here is our King. 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 Here is our love. Here is our God who's come to bring us back to Him. He is the one. He is Jesus. Here is our King. Here is our love. Here is our God who's come to bring us back to Him. He is the one. He is Jesus. Here is our King. Here is our love. Here is our God who's come to bring us back to Him. He is the one. He is Jesus. Here is our King. Here is our love. Here is our God who's come to bring us back to Him. He is the one. He is Jesus.
God created the whole world, the sky, the sun, the plants, and all the animals. But He saved His best creation for last, people. The first person God created was a man. His name was Adam. Adam lived in the middle of a beautiful garden. God loved Adam. And Adam loved God. God told Adam, "Adam, I want you to take good care of everything I've made." God had another very special job for Adam. "Adam, I want you to name all the animals." Can you imagine? Adam got to give the animals names. I'll name you Brian. And you're Daphne. You're Henry. No, Adam. Not those kind of names. Oh. You're a lion. You're a giraffe. You're a... an anteater. Adam loved living in the beautiful garden, naming the animals and taking care of all the things God had made. But the thing Adam loved the most was being friends with God. God, you're my friend. Adam, you're my friend too. Adam was the first person God made. Adam was the only person on the whole earth. But he wanted a family. So he looked around at all the animals and wondered, could they be my family? It was clear Adam wasn't like the elephants. And he couldn't live in the ocean like the whales. And, thankfully, he didn't smell like the pigs. Adam felt lonely. God knew Adam wanted a family, so that night, God made the first woman, Eve, just for Adam. God made a family for Adam. Together, Adam and Eve lived in the beautiful garden and took care of it and all of the animals. God, you're our friend. Adam and Eve, you're my friends too.
Oh, hi friends! It's so fun to see you out here. I love coming up in the mountains and walking around and getting to see all the wonderful things that God made. Sometimes I even get to see deer and cool bugs and, the beautiful mountains and trees, all the things God made. I wonder if this is what Adam felt like when he got to walk around the Garden of Eden, like we've been learning about, when God made everything in the very beginning. I bet Adam got lonely sometimes too, just to walk around by himself. Good thing God made Eve, because God knew exactly what Adam needed, and he knows exactly what we need. And one of the things that we need is friends and family. God made all of these awesome people that we get to be friends with. And it's so fun, because friends and family make life encouraging and more exciting. We get to enjoy life together and go through hard things together. We have another friend too. The best friend we could ever have. Do you know who that is? That's right, it's God. God's my friend, and he wants to be your friend too, everyone's. And there's some really cool things about God. For starters, he made everything, and none of my other friends can do that. But also, God's with us all the time, everywhere we go. He's with me right now, right here. He's also with me when I'm feeling sad or scared, or when I'm happy and excited. He's always there, and he's the best friend that we could ever have. There's a Bible verse that helps me remember it. It's John 15:15. It says, "I have called you friend." That's God. He calls us friend. There's some motions that help me remember it. You guys want to stand up and say them with me? Okay, goes like this. I have called you friend. John 15:15. All right, friends, I'm gonna head out and finish my hike. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
When darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. There's power
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, guys. Oh, I'm so glad you're here again. Oh, man, I love camping. The smell of the trees and the sound of the outdoors. There's something so sweet about a campfire. It's the s'mores. But also, the stories told around a campfire are always the best. Like the story about Joseph from the Bible. When we left off last time, he was on his way to be a slave. Let me tell you some more of this campfire story. Maybe you remember, Joseph was one of 12 sons, and he was his father's favorite. His father, Jacob, gave him a special, colorful coat. Joseph put the coat on and walked around in that coat like he was really something. His brothers were so jealous, they hated him. Then, Joseph made things even worse by telling his father and brothers all about how God gave him some strange dreams.
I dreamed we were out in the field, tying up bundles of grain, when all of a sudden, my bundle stood up in the middle, and all your bundles gathered around it, and bowed down. I was a bundle of grain, and all of you guys were bundles of grain too. But all of your bundles were bowing down to my bundle.
That was a strange dream, and it made Joseph look even more like a show-off. No one said a word. It looked like God would make Joseph a great leader someday. But that really didn't help how his brothers felt about Joseph. They already hated him because he was such a bragger. They for sure didn't want to bow down to him. No way. Then, Joseph told them about his other dream and how God was going to make him a leader.
I dreamed I was a star, and 11 other stars were bowing down to me. And the sun and the moon were bowing down to me too.
Joseph's brothers got even more angry with him when they heard those dreams. They were not going to bow down to their little brother, ever. Then, one day, his brothers saw Joseph and hatched a plan to get revenge on him. They decided to kill him, their own brother. First, they ripped his colorful coat off. And then they threw him down into a deep pit. While they were trying to decide what to do with him next, the brothers looked up to see a bunch of traders on their way to Egypt. So, the brothers decided to sell Joseph to be a slave. They put Joseph in shackles, threw him on a cart, and rode away with him. Joseph's brothers tore up his coat, and they told their dad that an animal had eaten Joseph. Meanwhile, Joseph went to Egypt. He was so far away from home, with no hope of ever returning. He had to work hard and do whatever he was told. But God was with Joseph. See, the traders could have sold him to anybody. A cruel master who made him work, do nasty things, or someone who beat him every day. That's not what happened. A man named Potiphar bought him for a slave. And Potiphar was an important, wealthy man. So, being his slave meant that Joseph got to live in a big, beautiful house and dress in rich clothes. He even had plenty of food to eat. Now, do you think that being in Potiphar's house helped him keep his faith in God? It did. And that's not all. Potiphar could totally tell that God was with Joseph because God made Joseph successful in everything he did. Like, Joseph would wash a tub and he would be cleaner than ever. Joseph would go out to get the groceries and he'd get it all at half price. Everything Joseph did went beyond awesome, and Potiphar noticed. Potiphar liked Joseph so much that he put Joseph in charge of everything in his entire house. Even though Joseph was still technically a slave, he was basically free. Joseph decided who to hire as Potiphar's servants, what to cook for Potiphar, how to spend Potiphar's money. People probably called Joseph Sir or Mr. Joe or something. Everything was awesome, except one thing: Potiphar's wife. See, Joseph happened to be a handsome young man. Like, he would walk by a bunch of girls working in a field and they would start giggling and whispering, "It's Joseph! Hi, Joseph! Ooh, hi, Joseph!" They weren't the only ones who had noticed. Potiphar's wife had also seen how good-looking Joseph was. She decided, she liked Joseph a whole lot. So one day, as Joseph walked by Potiphar's wife, she said, "Come on, Joseph, give me a kiss." Joseph said, "What? No way! Potiphar trusts me and you're his wife. I couldn't do that to him. It would not make God happy to see me kissing another man's wife." So Joseph walked away. But day after day after day, Potiphar's wife would say, "Joseph, come on, kiss me." Joseph kept walking away until one day, Potiphar's wife, she grabbed Joseph by the shirt and wouldn't let him go. "Kiss me," she said. Joseph knew he couldn't do it. It would hurt his master, Potiphar, but even worse, it would be a sin against God. Joseph couldn't walk away this time, though, because Potiphar's wife had a hold of him. He started to panic. Then he just turned and ran out of his shirt so fast, he left it dangling right there in Potiphar's wife's hands. Potiphar's wife looked at that shirt and watched Joseph getting away from her. She got so angry. She was also embarrassed that he wouldn't kiss her, and she was mad. So she told a lie. She yelled, "Help! Help!" And when some of the servants ran in, she said, "That Joseph was in here and he tried to hurt me and he made fun of me and I had to fight him to protect myself. Look, here's his torn shirt to prove it." That was not at all what had happened, but the servants didn't have any choice but to believe her. The proof was right there in her hands. This was Joseph's shirt, all right. It was torn. So the servants ran and got Potiphar. When Potiphar heard his wife's story, he yelled, "Go find Joseph and throw him in prison." The guards searched everywhere until they found Joseph. They grabbed him and they threw him into prison. Joseph sat there in the cell all alone. This was worse than being a slave. Now he was a prisoner. He hadn't even done anything wrong. He had tried to do the right thing and he still got in trouble. That can happen to us too. You could follow all the rules on the playground, but someone could say that you pushed him. Even if you didn't, you still end up losing recess. But whenever life seems unfair or things aren't going our way, we can have faith that God is still there. He's watching over us with a good plan. Joseph had that faith, even locked up in prison. So, when the sun went down and the stars came out and he could see some of them twinkling outside his prison window, he remembered something. The dream. He remembered all those stars bowing down to him. He remembered how he was the big star. But how could that dream ever make any sense now? Joseph was nobody again. He was even less than a slave. He was a prisoner. No one would be bowing down to him. But Joseph knew that his dreams had come from God. So he believed that even if things were unfair or looking pretty bad, they still had a chance to turn out someday, like his dream. He knew that God had a plan. Joseph had faith. Faith is being sure and knowing that what we hope for is real, even if we can't see it. Like God. We can have faith in God without seeing him. The Bible says that faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. We're going to find out next week what happens to Joseph in prison if his dreams really do come true. Well, thanks for camping out with me. I'll see you next time for another campfire story.